Yo, what is going on, Gamehouse? I am Germ here. So today I just wanted to cover some big recent League of Legends news and stories that have been going around and that people have been having a lot of opinions about lately. One of those obviously being the one on the screen we're going to be talking about a lot today, which is Yuumi. The fact that she got nerfed and then buffed, and what Riot's plan with her is and why they just can never seem to get it right. But another interesting story that did pop up that I want to talk about first before we get into the Yuumi stuff is this about some Maokai adjustments that are going to be hitting the PBE. I think they are now already out on the PBE for 12/17 because, he said they're going to be hitting PBE today, which was yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess now, August 24th. And their goal with Maokai is to improve the feel of some of the spells and get him back into the top end jungle without eliminating his support playstyle. So apparently, they want Maokai to be able to play top jungle and support, which I think is going to be a tough task to a tough task to kind of hit the mark with, because those three positions are all so different, and having him, good enough to be a top end jungler, the tools he needs to be a top end jungler are very, very different than the tools he needs to be a support. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting, but I did want to dive into some of these changes and stuff that they are looking at. I know this doesn't fit perfectly on the screen, but passive sap magic, he's getting a new part to his passive. Getting hit by large jungle monsters is going to reduce the cooldown by 1 second per auto. So that's kind of interesting. Obviously, it's just going to give him more sustain in the jungle. Not too crazy of a change, not too crazy of a buff or anything like that, but we'll definitely give him more sustain. I think that should help him out overall. I mean, it sounds good to me. It doesn't really move the needle too much in my opinion, but I think it's fine. They're adjusting the base damage of his Q. Looks like they're lowering the base damage overall. They're lowering the base damage early. Then it evens out at level 2, and then it's increasing at level 3, 4, and 5. So a little bit more scaling on his damage, but the AP ratio staying the same. He's getting a new percent max health damage of 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, and 3%. Obviously incentivizing him to build health. And now dealing 20, 35, 50, 65, 80 bonus damage to monsters, which they've been adding bonus damage to monsters for all different kinds of champions. Obviously, this is going to help him out in the jungle too. I don't think Maokai top is going to be a champion that's like stealing away a bunch of camps or anything like that. Yes, it does help him steal camps too, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Sapling toss, they have removed the percent max health damage. They're adjusting the base damage total. They're adjusting the brush damage total. Then they're going to be adding a new part, which is empowered damage does not affect minions. Definitely going to hurt his wave clear and stuff, obviously. And then they're going to be buffing the mana cost. They're going to be buffing the slow amount. And then the empowered brush slow amount is going to be 55%, which is kind of crazy. And then finally, they have buffs for his ultimate. The missile initial speed is going up. The missile max speed is going up. Obviously, we know the Maokai ult moves very, very slowly, so making that go faster is going to be a big quality of life improvement overall. Missile acceleration going up. And then now, new move speed on champion hit, 40 to 60% movement speed decaying over 2 seconds. So, I don't know. To me, there's nothing too crazy in here. This is definitely going to make him better as jungle. Is it going to make him better as top? Yeah, probably. We'll see what happens. Is this going to make support still viable? Yeah, I'm sure. But I don't think this moves Maokai into like an S tier top laner or jungler or anything like that all of a sudden. And like I said, I still think that top support and jungle are all very, very different. The support Maokai has been more about spamming out the saplings and brush control and being really, really annoying, as to where top and jungle are going to need to be tankier, beefier boys. So I don't know. Overall, some weird changes coming to Maokai. Maybe be looking out for what they're doing with him in the future. It's just PBE. It's going to change. These will probably not be the exact things that go live, but it is out there. Now, getting into some of the Yuumi stuff. Yuumi in patch 12.16. That's what I'm looking at here. Yuumi got nerfed. Everyone was happy. Everyone rejoiced. Yuumi E bonus move speed scales less with AP, and the cooldown was increased late game. Getting the Zoomies bonus movement speed from 6% per 100 AP to 2% per 100 AP, and then the cooldown going from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 to 12, 11 and a half, 11, 10 and a half, 10. So, hey, cool, awesome. They say Yuumi has had a very high pick rate in professional play recently, given that she synergized well with a lot of the current meta picks. I would even disagree with that. I don't think it's because she synergizes well with a lot of good meta picks. I think she's always going to synergize well with the meta picks in most metas, because she is going to buff up champions that are looking to carry and be annoying and, like win the game. And obviously most champions are already balanced around some state that's going to allow them to be super strong if they get fed and carry the game. And then this is just going to put them over the top. Like, I really think Yuumi is always going to be pretty problematic. Now, is she going to go through metas where she's better and worse? Yeah, sure. But I think she's always going to be problematic on most of the meta champions, especially when they are, especially in solo queue, where oftentimes you're going to have the more hyper carries, the more, tanky fighter, bruiser, and even if you are like an assassin or something like that, or more of a damage oriented carry, you can always go a little bit of resistances, a little bit of health, a little bit of sustainability, and then all of a sudden Yuumi makes that even more so. But then, Yuumi's going to make you super fast. If you like move speed, she's going to make you super fast. If you like healing, which everyone loves healing, she's going to heal you. She's also just going to do a crap ton of damage as well with her Q. Her ult is insane. Obviously, the size of it is so big. Yuumi does crazy damage. I mean, there's just so many good things about her. She's so hard to punish, and obviously at the end of the day, the biggest thing to me is that she feels horrible to play against, even if she is, maybe balanceable around like her win rate and stuff like that. But why people are getting mad now? Because, hey, Yuumi got nerfed. That was awesome. This patch dropped, I guess, 2 days ago now, and then right away, Yuumi couldn't even be nerfed for like 24 hours. They already decided to buff her up. Her Q base damage, unempowered, got increased from 50, 80, 110, 140, 170, 200 to 50, 90, 130, 170, 210, 250. Her Q base damage empowered also is increasing. Awesome. And her R cooldown is getting decreased in the early and mid game at level 1 and 2. So again, why is Riot doing this? I don't know. I don't get it. And so many people have come out and said, and rightfully so, and we see, we have Riot Frox on. He said, hey, we micro patch out a buff to Yuumi to add some power back in a way that is not super focused into E. After putting it in a better long-term spot, we recognize there's a risk to the return of artillery Yuumi, but there aren't a lot of great areas to buff. And that is a super big problem. You have the lead designer for the league balance team saying, hey, Yuumi is a problem because there's not a lot of great areas to buff, and yes, that is the issue with her. Yes, she is very, very problematic. She has overall a simple and basic kit. She only does a couple of things, but she just does them so damn well and so annoyingly well that yes, it is hard to find a great area to buff her, because what they decided to do was buff her Q and her ult, which are more the things that, she does herself. Obviously, her Q doing some damage, her ult putting down the CC doing some damage. Her other abilities are obviously going to be the ones that are empowering champions. So if they nerfed her zoomies and they buffed up her damage, yeah, maybe that changed things, and maybe the problem was that she was buffing up the hyper carries or the problematic meta champions or whatever too much. But now you are risking her, like they say, the artillery Yuumi, which is the idea of Yuumi just sitting in someone and being able to dish out free damage / insane amounts of damage over the course of the game. Like, yes, they are taking away one version of Yuumi. They're not even taking it away. They're just nerfing it. Still probably going to be pretty problematic and strong. And now adding in a different version of Yuumi where, you start building some AP, start doing some damage. And again, how do you punish that? You have to kill the person that Yuumi's on and then kill her too. And depending on who she's on, it could be very, very difficult to kill her or stop her. So I don't know. I don't get it. A lot of people are coming out and saying, hey, some champions get nerfed and their next buff is like 3 years later. They get nerfed from the gutter and they get forgotten about. Why does Yuumi get nerfed for not even 24 hours and we already need to drop a buff to her? I don't know. Obviously, I haven't exactly looked at play rates and stuff, but I'm assuming she must be at least a decently popular champion. She's definitely a champion that everyone has a lot to say about and a lot going on and a lot of opinions about. Definitely the number one champion on a lot of people's list to be deleted, removed from the game, whatever. To me, she just seems very, very problematic. The whole idea of her is crazy. They say long-term, we're interested in reducing her level of force multiplication with fighters and have her be happier without sitting at marksman. Forcing marksman to lane 1v2, then abandoning them later to reduce counterplay of fighters isn't a great experience for everyone involved. 100%, it's not. And again, did the nerfs fix that? I don't know. Did these buffs really go with what they're saying? I also don't think so. To me, this just does not make a lot of sense. I get why they wanted to nerf her in 12-16. I don't get why they are then buffing her that very, very same day. Was she like so unplayably disgustingly weak? Is it not an issue if she is weak for a little bit after she has been kind of overbearingly strong for probably a majority of her life cycle so far? I don't know. But Yuumi got nerfed. It wasn't for long. She's already buffed back up again. We maybe have some Maokai changes coming soon. Maokai top lane and jungle, maybe returning back to the meta sometime in Season 12. But that's the latest for League of Legends news. Wanted to get it out to you guys. So that's it. Definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe to today and all the Game House's latest content. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about any of this that we talked about in the video today. Subscribe to stay up to date on all the content. I already said that. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.